Boruto is the anti-hero in the time skip. I have made a few videos on this topic and I will continue to talk about this cause it's definitely a possibility. It all begins with a different interpretation of the prologue scene. Most of the fandom sees Kawaki as the bad or the misled one in the time skip who is responsible for all the destruction, while Boruto, who didn't expect him to go this far, engages in a fight with him to stop the situation from worsening. But let's look at the other side of the coin by figuring out this scenario from Kawaki's perspective. What if it's actually Boruto who has been misled and Kawaki is trying to stop him? This scene from Boruto opening gate, which reflects a similar representation of Naruto and Sasuke from a Shippuden opening, could act as a strong basis for this theory. Before getting into the role-switching interpretation of the prologue scene, let's theorize how Boruto might actually end up on the wrongful side. The number one factor behind Boruto's abandonment of the right path lies within his inner demon momoshiki. The pesky predations that are bound to turn the tables for the jogan wielder could make him adopt a monstrous personality. Momoshiki claims that Boruto's fate is so dark that he could even lose his will to live. A phase full of depression and trauma is waiting for the blue-eyed boy, and there is no way he could remain truly optimist during these circumstances. The frequent possessions of Momoshiki could make Boruto develop a multiple personality disorder where he would be doing really grim things during the breakdowns. He will forsake the village at some point, and maybe that's why the chakra erasing ability was introduced. But that's only the surface of his sorrowful development. He might even give up on being a shinobi, as it's completely unethical to be a ninja if the people around you feel unsafe with your presence. And if he's not able to control his demonic disorder, chances are he's the culprit behind the destruction of the time skip, and Kawaki is just trying to stop him from crossing lines. By keeping this possibility in mind, let's interpret the flash forward scene from a totally different angle. Boruto tells Kawaki that he didn't expect him to go this far, which could mean that he wasn't hoping for Kawaki to become a hurdle in his plan. I feel like Boruto doesn't remember that he's responsible for all the destruction around him due to some mental illness he has developed because of Momoshiki. The reason Kawaki is being portrayed as the bad guy is to unveil the greatest plot twist in the history of anime when this scene will actually make it to the series.
お前も7代目と同じところへ送ってやるよ、ボルト。
Here Kawaki tells Boruto that he's gonna send him to the same place where he sent his father. Maybe it's some other dimension where time doesn't flow and he wants to imprison Boruto there cause the blue karma wielder is certainly not safe for the people around him. The inability of Boruto to take responsibility of his actions has left Kawaki with no other choice, and the next statement proves this even further. Here we get a glimpse of the vulnerable side of Boruto, far from the curse of the otsutsuki, as he questions Kawaki if this was the only possible outcome. Boruto could have chosen death like last time, but the promise of Momoshiki has kinda made him immortal, and all of this sums up to Kawaki's decision of trapping the blue karma wielder in some other dimension. He has apparently sent Naruto and everyone else there to save them from the rampage Boruto is causing. This is where the greater picture of the fallout is revealed. Indeed, Kawaki is trying to save the world from Boruto's wrath, but there is also a side motive going on that Kawaki won't give up: the end of Shinobi regime. It's very hard to tell whether Amado is pulling the strings behind Kawaki's actions, or it's actually the keen observation of the Kama warrior which made him come to this conclusion that the Shinobi should be wiped out. Earlier in the series, Jigen tells Kashin Koji that Shinobis are nothing but tools used by some higher powers for their benefit. It seems like Kawaki has somehow adopted this knowledge. Boruto, who was already suffering from the misery of his fate, as a final resort to restore the reputation that he had lost in the village. There are even more hints out there suggesting that Boruto is the unjustified one in the time skip. The son of Naruto is seen on the destroyed side of the Hokage base, and if we relate this detail to this sequence of the 8th anime opening, the chances of Boruto being an anti-hero enhance tremendously. Also, the same reference could be taken as a foreshadowing that Boruto will take on Sasuke's footsteps in the future. This could mean he's destined to go rogue. But then comes the most disputed question of the Boruto series: why is Boruto wearing Sasuke's clothes? I have gathered two explanations for this video, and the second one will make you believe that Boruto has lost the qualities of a protagonist. The first theory, however, talks about Boruto giving Sasuke a karma to resurrect into his body, as there is nothing stopping him from doing so. He is a pure otsutsuki and the most powerful prodigy in the shinobi world alongside Kawaki. If the enemies of the blue-eyed warrior would decide to go after his life, then he could take this step so that he could be resurrected into his master's body. The Naruto franchise has shown us the disciples killing their own masters at some point in the story. If Boruto has actually went through some villainous makeover, chances are he is responsible for the death of Sasuke, and the only reason he wears this outfit is to carry on the legacy of the Uchiha. Furthermore, we have seen the karma healing wounds of the user before, but the scar on Boruto's right eye has created a buzz regarding this resurrection seal of the Otsutsukis. Why wasn't Boruto able to heal the scar with the karma has become one of the greatest mysteries of the series. But what if I told you it's because of the villainous turnover of the blue-eyed boy which left his scar unhealed? I'm pretty sure that once Boruto will lose everything, Momoshiki will appear to remind him about his prophecy that has finally come true. This will make Boruto go crazy and he could use the kunai to cut his own eye, and just because the injury was self-inflicted, the karma wasn't able to heal it. Amado once revealed that the only way to kill an immortal Otsutsuki is to kill them while they have no other karma marks on anyone. But considering how Boruto's scar didn't heal, it seems like there is another way to kill an Otsutsuki more efficiently. By driving an Otsutsuki self-destructive and making them kill themselves, we could expect an ultimate death of the celestial being. The reflection ability of daemon could also come handy into exterminating the alien beings. But we shouldn't forget that the abilities of daemon are just a fragment of Otsutsuki powers. Who knows, Boruto and Kawaki might develop abilities that would surpass the broken abilities of Eida and daemon. If you hit the subscribe button, I will make a full video on this topic. Coming back to the dark character development of Boruto. If he's actually gonna be a well-written character, then his transition from descent to worst phases of his life should also be flawless. Which brings us to an engrossing question. If Boruto wins the conflict against Kawaki, there is no way the people of Konoha will spare him for the mistakes of his past. So how is he gonna deal with them? This is where the jogan, the prophesied eye of hope, comes into play. Now I'm not gonna tell you some lame stuff like jogan erasing people's memories and doing miracles, etc. Rather, the jogan could act as a medium to free Boruto from the punishments of the shinobi world by providing him a bridge to reach the Otsutsuki world, where the true purpose of his life is lying. Not only it will solve the ground problem of Boruto with Konoha, but it will also help the writers to unveil the mysteries of the alien race before ultimately concluding the story. The jogan, also known as the pure eye, if it's actually the mother of all dojutsus, and if Boruto was specifically chosen by the Otsutsuki god to enter the realm of the celestial beings, then the series might clear all the mind-boggling confusions before its ultimate conclusion. This is probably the best approach for the writers to solve all the plot holes and turn the series into an even greater sensation than its prequels. Boruto looking through a leaf in a recent opening, which is probably a reference to Madara, also acts as a hint that he will be misled. He might end up in a similar situation as Madara, where his ideology would be ideal to him but troublesome to others. I will cover this theory in some other video. The purpose of Boruto in the Otsutsuki world could be either to defeat their king or to free the alien beings from the will of devouring planets for the sake of power. Ishiki said that the will of an Otsutsuki is to gain power by the means of hunting chakra fruits all across the universe. However, since Boruto had exceptionally turned into one, he lacks this will of obtaining power, and he could enter the Otsutsuki world to free everyone from this extraordinary greed. And how is he gonna do it? By utilizing the dojutsu that's only acquired by the ones who reach the god forms of this race. It seems like he was chosen by some deity who attained the divine form by consuming a lot of chakra fruits, and since he wasn't born an Otsutsuki, he can easily fix all the flaws of the alien world. But what if I told you some Otsutsukis are hunting for Boruto and they will identify him by the chest mark? Find out the full story in this video.